Vietnam, Socialist Republic of Vietnam or Vietnam is located on the Asian continent, more exactly in Southeast Asia, on the Indochinese peninsula and borders the countries Cambodia, China and Laos as well as the South China Sea. The longest border is shared with Laos. Vietnam has a population of 102 million people. Hanoi, with 4.8 million inhabitants, is its capital. Government type, Communism. Vietnamese is the official and national language, and also English and French are the most common second languages. National holiday, September 2nd, Independence Day. Literacy, 95% of the adult population can read and write. Religion, folk religions or non-religious, 81%, Buddhism, 8%. Christianity, 8%. Currency, Vietnamese Dong. National symbols, 5-pointed star on red field, lotus blossoms, national flower. National colors, red and yellow. History, Vietnam was ruled by the Hung Kings since the 3rd century BC. Chinese troops invaded the northern parts of the country in 111 BC and then various Chinese dynasties ruled the area. Later in the 18th century the peninsula was colonized by France, and from 1858 until 1954 the country was part of French Indochina. After the end of World War II and the Declaration of Independence in 1945, the French still ruled the country until 1954. Then Vietnam was divided into North Vietnam and South Vietnam and the country was shuck by the violent Second Indonesian War from 1955 to 1975. This war is also referred to as the Resistance War against America or American War. The fall of Saigon was on April 30, 1975. The city Saigon was later renamed to Ho Chi Minh City in honor of the fallen Vietnamese communist leader Ho Chi Minh. Vietnam has a coastline of about 3,444 kilometers per 2,140 miles long, is roughly the size of New Mexico, USA, and about half as big as France. A flight from London takes roughly 12 hours and from New York, USA a flight takes about 20 hours. The country is very narrow and long. It stretches over 1,650 km/1,025 miles from north to south. At the narrowest point the country is just 50 km/31 miles wide. Due to the shape, Vietnam has different climatic zones. The temperatures are generally higher in the southern parts than in the country's north. Vietnam has many forested regions and rolling hills. High mountain peaks can be found in the northern parts of the country. The highest point of Vietnam is Phan Xipan, also called Phan Xipang and nicknamed Roof of Indochina. The mountain is 3,143 m/10,312 feet high. The largest island is Pho Quoc, located in the Gulf of Thailand. Vietnam's biggest city is Ho Chi Minh City in the country's south with about 9 million people. The Sun Dung Cave in Phong Nha Bang National Park is the world's largest cave passage by volume. It is about 5 kilometers long, 200 m high and 150 m wide. Hanoi, Vietnam's capital city, situated in the country's north, the buzzing city is Vietnam's major trading center for centuries. In the city's old quarter, the streets are still named after the goods and wares that were once crafted and traded here, such as Hang Bi Street, the street of the bamboo crafters, Hang Dao Street, the silk weaver street, and Hang Tung Street, where once barrels were skillfully made. Danang is the country's second biggest city. Due to its location at the central coast, the sandy beaches and nearby international airport, it is one of the most popular holiday destinations in Vietnam. It is easy to explore the nearby historic cities of Hue and Hoyen or the magnificent Marble Mountains from here. The Golden Bridge near the mountain resort of Ba Na Hill further inland from Danang is a wonderful new attraction to explore as well. The new skybridge is 150 m/490 feet long and offers awesome views. And they're the fascinating historic cities too. Hue and Hoyen are surely a must-visit when in the central region of Vietnam. Hue, the city in central Vietnam, was once the national capital from 1802 until 1945. The imperial city of Hue with its palaces and temples also houses the Forbidden City and the Royal Palace, which was the emperor's home for many centuries. Phu Quoc, Vietnam's largest island, attracts visitors to its clear turquoise waters and stunning beaches. The Mekong Delta in Vietnam has been voted among the best attractions to visit in 2019 by Condé Nast Traveler magazine readers. The waterways in the southwestern part of the country can be explored by boat, and traditional village markets can be visited. Ha Long Bay and its magical karst rock formations is among the most amazing wonders of the world. Nearby Van Don International Airport opened in December 2018, and now it is much easier to reach this popular tourist attraction. The bay is home to about 2,000 local residents, while already over 10 million tourists visit Ha Long Bay every year. The main agricultural products are rice, coffee, tea, pepper, as well as soybeans, cashews, peanuts, and rubber. The main trading partners of Vietnam are China, Japan, South Korea, and the USA. Exports from Vietnam include clothes, shoes, electronics, seafood, crude oil, and rice. The main imports include machinery and equipment and raw materials for their manufacturing industries. Only 36% of the population live in urban areas of the country. The majority of the people live in the Red River Delta in the north of the country, and in the Mekong Delta and Ho Chi Minh City in the south. The biggest city of the country is Ho Chi Minh City, formerly called Saigon, where more than 8 million people live. Danang, Haiphong, Can Tho, and the capital city Hanoi are big cities with more than 1 million inhabitants. There are about 45 million motorbikes registered in Vietnam. Vietnam is one of the most densely populated countries, but large areas of the country are still very rural and consist of arable land, rice fields, and forests. More than 40% of the Vietnamese people work still in the agricultural sector. The people in rural areas lead a simple life. More than 8% of the population are very poor and live below the poverty line. In Vietnam, the government recognizes 54 ethnic groups. The vast majority, 85%, of people belong to the Viet people. The biggest minority group are the Thai and Khmer people. In Vietnam, military service is compulsory for young men. The up to 2-year-long national service in the country's army or navy is compulsory for all young Vietnamese men over 18 years and voluntary for young women over 18 years. Vietnamese people celebrate the New Year twice. The New Year celebration are on January 1st, as most countries do. But they also celebrate the Vietnamese Lunar New Year, celebrated at the same dates as Chinese New Year. The Vietnamese Lunar New Year is called Tet, which is the main cultural festival in Vietnam. 2022 is celebrated as the Year of the Tiger. People in Vietnam will wear their traditional dress and celebrate New Year as their main cultural festival. During Tet, the people visit the temples and give presents to family and friends. Vietnamese towns are decorated with lots of flowers during Vietnamese Lunar New Year. Popular flowers are peach blossoms and apricot blossoms, chrysanthemums, and pansies. Many dishes in Vietnam consist mainly of rice and vegetables, as well as fish, seafood, chicken, or beef. Rice products as well as soy sauce, fish sauce, or shrimp sauce are the most common ingredients in Vietnamese dishes. Here are some typical Vietnamese dishes. Nem, grilled pork meat skewers which have been marinated in fish sauce. They are often served with spicy chili sauce. Canh chua, sour soup with fish, tomatoes, and vegetables, as well as pineapple chunks. Pho, traditional soup dish made with clear broth, spring onions, and sprouts, as well as sliced chicken or beef slices. Bánh bao, Vietnamese pastry dumpling with usually savory fillings such as pork or chicken meat. Doi, sweet sticky rice cakes made with coconut milk and mung beans, often with added food coloring. Vietnam is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. There are over 840 bird species and more than 310 mammal species recorded in Vietnam, some of these only found in this country. The saola, an antelope species, was only discovered quite recently and is considered one of the rarest large mammals in the world. The red-shanked duck is native to Vietnam as well and also is critically endangered. These monkeys are among the most colorful primate species. Ducks eat and sleep in trees.